Welcome Cohort 163 to my talk on student agency, more specifically, student agency and assessment formation. What I want to talk about today is what does student agency look like, how we as future educators and pre-service teachers can enable and encourage our students to take on an active role in the formation of their assessment, and why student agency and assessment formation should matter to us and to our students. Oftentimes, students get many negative associations when it comes to school. Students can feel stressed, challenged, that it is a competitive environment, or they can feel overwhelmed and also disengaged. By encouraging student agency, we can change all of this. I'm sure we can all remember, if we think back to our own high school experience, of an assignment we just did not have an interest in doing, or a test we felt in no way prepared for. How different would it have been for us as students if we had been given a voice or say in how we were assessed, what type of projects we would be completing, and what content we would be tested on. No matter how hard current teachers or future educators like ourselves may try, it will always be difficult for us to fully know all of our students as well as they know themselves. They are often the best judges of their own strengths, weaknesses, and skill sets, and therefore they should be able to use those to their advantage. My interest in this topic stems from my first practicum, in which my AT spent an entire lesson with each class, creating their unit test with them, giving them clear instructions on what they can expect, and creating examples with them on how they might best respond to the style of questions being asked. In this example, the students gave 20 terms which they would have to study from, 10 of which would appear on the upcoming test. This ensured a far more equitable playing field for all the students as they prepared, and made the teacher aware of what had stood out as significant for the students over the course of that unit. Allowing students to have this level of agency gave them a deeper confidence and a stronger sense of preparedness. While this method may not be applicable in all forms of assessment at all times, I believe that this style of assessment formation can be a critical tool to be used in the classroom by teachers. As we've learned in class, this style of assessment would fall across all three categories of assessment for learning, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning. It requires students to take an active and participatory role, and when it is done, we will encourage the student to reflect on their own knowledge and understanding. This method of student agency can also be used beyond the more traditional test format and into many different disciplines, and be utilized by more project-style assessments as well. If, for example, you were to assign your class with a book report, there is no reason that this has to be done in the more traditional writing style alone. While some students might feel comfortable in writing out their responses, others might have a preference in giving an oral presentation, recording a video, or using an interactive format. While it would be important to have a certain consistent baseline criteria, giving the students options in at least the form of media they use to complete the assignment gives the student agency. Allowing the student to decide how they wish to complete the assignment also gives them a deeper sense of ownership and to use the skills that they know that they have. After all, students are often the best experts on themselves. Research shows that the use of student agency in the classroom improves the students' metacognitive processes, increases student motivation, promotes student accountability, allows students to develop personal skills and interests, and also leads to more responsive behavioral changes and improved communication by seeking help and consulting with teachers and peers. Ultimately, using student agency for assessment or for any component within education is all about enabling the student to take charge of their learning and puts them in the center of the process. Always remember that we as educators have the amazing opportunity to create a space for student agency through learning and assessment, and to help give them the tools and support that they need through the process. Thank you for listening.
Created using Powtoon.